This is Ready Set Reiki, a podcast about Reiki, the universal energy life force, from the curious beginner to the seasoned master teacher, welcoming all systems, all lineages, and all levels. Reiki is a journey and not a destination, and on this Ready Set Reiki journey, I refer to myself as a guide rather than host, as I too am traveling, supporting others, and learning on this Reiki journey as well. And with that said, I am your guide, Tracy C. Wright. Now joining me today is a wonderful, amazing energy healer, spiritual life mentor, and a self-development expert. It helps individuals and families overcome depression, anxiety, migraines, conflict in life and business crises. Before becoming a holistic leader and mindfulness expert, she was a financial service professional at some of the top firms in Abu Dhabi and London. She graduated from the Warwick Business School in the UK and later got certified as a gemologist. Her search for finding solutions to her chronic headaches and relationships crisis led her to travel to a hideaway in the mountains of Asia and get healed and trained with an enlightened spiritual master. Her life crisis became the catalyst to fuel for her healing and transformation journey. So I'm going to introduce you to this wonderful healer. Her name is so beautiful that I can absolutely not do it justice. So I will have her tell you her beautiful name.
Hi, everyone. I am Kanupriya. Kanupriya also means it's a Hindu goddess. And I always get asked a lot what my name means. And I think Tracy really wanted I speak about it on the podcast. So Kanu means there's a Hindu god, Krishna. Kanu means it's another name for Krishna. And Priya means love or something that you like. So I am Lord Krishna's lover, and that is goddess Radha. So that is the meaning of my name. And here I am to talk on the podcast.
Well, thank you for joining me on this journey. So let us begin. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I live in Dubai and I've been a healer for the last 5 years. And, just like a lot of people, who get into the healing space, I got to do, what I'm doing right now because of was having chronic headaches for more than 3 years. So for the first 2 years, I was popping allopathic medicines. And the day I would not take a medicine, I would feel the headaches. And then later on, I switched to homeopathy and I tried naturopathy, Ayurveda, I tried cleansing diets, and I tried hypnotherapy. I tried so many things and the headaches were not getting better at all. So, of course, the headaches and then also my marriage at that time, these two things that were not working out, they sort of became the catalyst for me to really change my life and improve my life. And by the way, so when all of this was happening, I was living in Nigeria at that time, in Lagos, in Nigeria. Of course, this was many, many years back, and things have changed a lot since then. But that was when I decided to look for alternative solutions, and I explored energy healing as a life purpose and also as something to heal my chronic headaches and also improve my personal life and generally improve, my overall quality of life in all aspects, as I felt very lost at that time.
Wow. Well, it's amazing that you were able to find a solution for especially those headaches. My husband suffers from chronic headaches as well, and it's really debilitating. So I'm glad you were able to kind of navigate through that. And what's incredible is that you were not only able to do this for yourself, but you're out helping others, with these struggles. So when did energy healing, this spiritual work, come into your life? Did it find you or did you find it?
So, being raised in India, my childhood being in India, I was always introduced to all sorts of alternative medicine. This was something that was not new for me. But yes, again, going back to 2019 was when I was experiencing a complete life breakdown. I was lost and I was hopeless. I started having panic attacks. I started having back pain. I started having like a full body weakness. I felt like I couldn't even stand. I started crying. I couldn't sleep at night. My whole body used to be in pain. And again, like I talked about the life crisis, the personal relationship crisis, and the family crisis that I was going through. I think everything happened all at the same time that triggered so much pain and anxiety um, in my consciousness, in my mind and body. And I also felt very alone. I didn't know where I could go for help. And well, so it was a mix of both things. I think, interestingly, I mean, so first I reached out to one of the spiritual life mentor with whom I received training in Asia to talk about this was just like, one of those initial discovery calls that you do. So first I reached out to them just to sort of explore what's happening in my life. And I so believe in, spiritual life mentoring and, receiving insights from somebody with a third eye, because she could puncture the exact negative traits in me that was leading me to all the problems, which all these counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists that I was going through over the last 1 year, couldn't pinpoint at. So that was my first, experience back into energy healing. But I just, carried along with life. And then again, I tried a few other, like one other, like healer, like a family friend tells you about. It was something very basic. And while all of this was happening, my ex-husband at that time, he suggested to me, because I was looking for a new life purpose as well after my marriage. He shared a video of me on, energy healing and energy mastery. He's like, Kanu, why don't you do this? Like, why don't you learn this? Still, I had not received the energy healing. I was still sick at that time, but I feel like everything was coming together one by one. And then moving on, there was a holiday with all the friends, that we had planned to Greece. And I was really sick. I still couldn't stand. I still had the full body weakness. And that was when I reconnected with the spiritual life mentor and the healer in the mountains of Asia, that, what, I really have to go for this holiday. What can I do? And that is when I did 10 sessions of healings with her for 10 days every day. And that is when I promise you, I felt some life force energy in me. I was practically dead before that. If somebody looked at me from outside, I look good. I dressed well. Everything was fine. All my blood tests, all my MRI scans, everything was 10 on 10. Not even a 9 on 10. It was a 10 on 10. And still, yeah, but I was completely depleted of energetic life force. So that is the first time I reconciled with energy healing. Again, this was way back in 2019, that at least I had some stamina and life force to at least go for the holiday. It doesn't mean that I was perfectly okay on the holiday. And then when I came back to Nigeria, from Greece, again, life carried on. I was still, working on strengthening my body, all of those things. And then later on that year, again, my ex-husband asks me, me and my friends, we are planning to spend New Year's in Philippines. Would you like to go to Philippines? And I was like, hell yes, because that is where the healing master, his village, and he lives over there. So I was like, wow, this is amazing, because I was looking to find my purpose, get training in my purpose, and, continue to unblock my life. This is all working out. And that is when, I ended up in the mountains of Philippines after New Year's. And whereas I received healings to bring myself back in alignment, heal my headaches, and also learn how to heal others as well. So I would say from completely being broken down to finding hope and finding my purpose was itself a 12-month journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
An amazing transformational journey, wasn't it? Of healing. Beautiful.
Yes.
So you're a healer. You've been a healer for a few years now, a spiritual life mentor, a self-development expert, holistic healer, enlightened spiritual master. As you are out navigating and working with others and, talking to people, what is the common misconception about your work?
I think one of the common misconception about this work is that people feel like you would experience some breakthrough in one session. I think a lot of times the way it's marketed, that as somebody who cannot walk for last 20 years, they would suddenly start walking, or you know what I mean?
Yes.
Or yeah, or if somebody has like allergies, like autoimmune disorders, they would suddenly vanish. And I try to really teach people. It's important for me to teach people that yes, I can help you, and maybe so the other healers as well. But it's going to take time. And one of the things that's really important is for you to surrender, to listen to the person who's guiding you, and not feel that that just because something did not happen in one or two sessions, they're lying. I think this is a huge misconception I would want to change. Like I said, when I talked about my 12th month journey, that was the beginning. After that, I continued to invest 5 more years into getting to where I am right now. But at least for those 12 months, in and out, I was either healing or doing something for myself in some or the other way. It was not one session that changed everything for me.
Right, right. Well, you touched upon this a bit ago as you introduced yourself. You have helped individuals and families overcome depression and anxiety and migraines and conflict in their life and business. But what has been the biggest challenge, or rather struggle, you have faced in your healing journey?
I think when you're going through your healing journey, the people around you, especially if you're living in a family setup, and I don't just mean like, you and your partner, but I mean like if you have parents, you have in-laws, siblings, and I don't even want to talk about friends over here. I just mean your immediate people. You are changing so much as a person. And that's my dog barking now. You are changing so much as a person. And even though the other family members know that you're doing something to, change yourself, heal yourself, transform yourself, but then they don't really know. And sometimes you feel like if you could just just disconnect from them for some time, and then when you're sort of in a better place, then you come back and approach them. Because when you're going through so many inner experiences on a regular basis, where, depends on how committed you are to your healing journey, I think it's so important to have family members who are supportive and who understand that first of all, there's nothing wrong that's happening to you. You are changing, and they should just sort of, mind their own business at that time and not bother you.
Very good. So when it is time for you to get an energetic tune-up, what are some of the qualities you look for in an energy healer?
I think one of the first and foremost quality I look for in a healer is their own health. I think good health is a very important virtue, and how healthy that healer is in terms of their own mind, body, and spirit. And normally, and this is something, I advise others as well, that always receive healings based on what sort of healings you're receiving from somebody whose frequency is same or higher than yours. And that is something you need to have that awareness as well. And normally, I even scan the size of the chakras of the healer to see how clean, or, what are the size of the chakras, so that I know that, with whom I want to go to. But yes, good health is number one. I would really want to be with somebody who has a good lifestyle, who's vice-free, doesn't smoke, doesn't drink, is vegetarian, is free, doesn't have chaos and conflict, in their own lives. I mean, of course, we all have a bit of things happening, but not like going through something turbulent. And they do their regular energy maintenance, meditation, shielding practices. So I know that the negative side is not penetrating into their energies and then coming to me. I think these are some precautionary measures that I take.
All right, some really great advice there. So you have worked as a financial services professionals at some of the top firms, and now working with energy. So what advice would you give someone who's just entering this profession?
I would say that anybody entering this profession, they need to let go of their logical mind. They need to tune more into their intuition, and they need to stop being mental about all the answers.
Mm.
So let's say if you have to, visualize a light, somebody from a corporate background to this background, they would be like, I don't know what to see. What is the color? What is the size? Um, when is it going to happen? How do I even know it's happening or not? And I just tell people, just let it be, just surrender.
Mm.
So I think, yeah, they just need to be sinking deeper into their intuition. And of course, work with a good trainer and a teacher. And especially, okay, another thing I really want to say is if somebody can really afford it, then please initially start your journey with a one-on-one mentor.
Mm.
You need that. Don't just jump into a group program and then you don't have the personal support.
Yeah, yeah. There's so many wonderful online on-demand programs out there, but with that level one, whatever you're training and beginning your journey, you really need that teacher. And it's okay to have that online, but one-on-one in person, like a human being that you can, bounce things off of and talk to and connect with. And as you grow and as you develop in your skill, in your profession, then, have those extra resources to watch the videos and add things and with it. And it's fantastic. There's a lot of great information out there, but you really need that person to be on that beginning journey with you to help guide you through that. And many people are lured by the price, right? Oh, this is, $9 or $14. Don't let that fool you. I mean, you get kind of what you pay for, really. And it's worth the money if you resonate with that person. You have that connection. And so be mindful, look at them, read the things, get that feeling. How does this person make me feel? Can I open up to that person? So yeah, I agree totally with you on that. So what books do you recommend?
So I would recommend, my spiritual teacher is Master Delpe. And there are some very good books, by him based on, what somebody is looking at. But then if somebody is a more advanced spiritual practitioner, I recommend a book called The Third Eye that talks deeper about the actual construction and the scientific design of the third eye and how one can develop the third eye. And once they have the third eye, how can they keep it as well? I think that is a very, very good book. And again, based on what somebody is seeking, are they seeking good habits, emotional intelligence? Do they want to develop psychic powers? So there's another book called Inner Powers, which is also by Master Delpe. That is, again, a very good book, which has psychic drills that you can do, to hone and train your psychic powers as well. And that is one of the things that a lot of people say that they're gifted psychics. I think even the gifted psychics need to learn techniques for shielding and also to further enhance their psychic powers for better guidance and results as well.
All right, very good. So what services do you offer? Do you offer any classes, trainings, workshops, events?
I mean, my main forte is I do private sessions for energy medicine, whereas I offer heal plans for anyone suffering from anxiety, depression, burnout, migraines, or back pain, and a lot of other conditions that mimic medical problems. So that is, my main one of the main services I offer because I love working with my clients one-on-one. And then apart from that, I offer group meditation programs. I do a full moon event, which happens once a month online globally. And that is a very powerful full moon event. And what is unique about that is that apart from doing all the full moon rituals and the meditation, we use certain techniques to generate more positive karmic equity in our life. So we use the full moon meditation as a tool for service to humanity and to Earth. So that is something that's very unique about it. And then, of course, I offer a lot of other services as well, and you can find all of them on my website. There are a lot of self-discovery programs. There's astrology consultations on your life cycles. There's manifestation programs for attracting money or a life partner. And then I also offer space cleansing or feng shui design services for your homes and offices. So there's lots of things in the spiritual, metaphysical space.
Wonderful. So if someone was interested in booking a session or service, whether online or in person, are they able to find you through your website?
Yes, they can reach out to me through my website and book. There's a link over there. They can just book a call with me directly by clicking on that link. Or, you can reach out to me on Instagram. Just send me a DM, and I would share the link with you. I think I normally like to just first start with an initial consultation. That's it. Keep it simple and clear.
All right, and wonderful. And where are you located again?
I am based in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, which is in the Middle East. And I'm originally Indian by my Indian origin.
Wonderful. And you do offer the online services for our listeners who are very interested in what you're offering.
Yes. So I do all my services in person and online, and I work with an international clientele. I I think Australia is the only continent, and maybe Antarctica, that I have not had clients in. Otherwise, I've had clients from all continents. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So that ends the first part of our journey together, and I'm going to continue to guide you through the next part of our journey, which are social media questions that are sent in by listeners and energy worker students. So here we go. Number 1, what is a self-development expert and how can it help someone on their healing journey?
So a self-development expert is someone who helps you build your character. And how I combine that with the chakras is that, as we know, that each chakra has character traits or behavioral patterns. Now, what a self-development expert is doing is that it is helping you balance each and every behavior and character trait so that you become a more well-rounded and a more evolved human being. So that is one aspect. And how everything that we do in self-development is connected to a healing journey is, for example, now let's say there's a person who's very lazy and they wake up late. So how everything is interconnected is that the energy healing sessions will give them more vitality and willpower to wake up on time. The life coaching and mentoring will, give them more perspective about their own problems and how they can overcome that. Then there will also be exercises and movement, which will give them more strength in their body, which is also part of self development. Then having a good routine every day to wake up at a certain time and being aligned with the circadian rhythms of the universe, to develop good health is also part of self development and the healing journey. Now again, went through the healing sessions, I energized their base of the spine chakra. It's one of the chakra when it's low and depleted, it makes you lazy. If it's very overactive, it can also make you develop ADD, ADHD tendencies, like being very hyper all the time. So again, when that chakra is balanced, you become less, you're not lazy anymore. You have the energy in the chakra to stand up, take charge of your life. So when I work in tandem using different techniques, you develop into a more better and evolved person. And also when we open the crown chakra more, you become a wiser person to want to change your life. because a lot of times we want to change ourselves. We need inspiration. And when the crown chakra receives inspiration from the soul, the higher self, that, you know what, enough is enough. I need to change my ways. I need to become good at, what I do. So when I open and expand the size of the crown chakra as well, you receive the inspiration from the soul that I want to do something in my healing journey and transform my habits. So all of these things work in tandem with each other. And that's how a self-development expert helps you on your healing journey.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you for that explanation. So number 2, in your healing journey, as you are transforming yourself and causing this change in your life, what inspired you to receive a certification to become a gemologist?
So I became a gemologist in between my financial services life and my healer life. So actually my transition from financial services to a diamond jeweler happened because I was, when I was 25 years old, and that is when I was in financial services, I sort of knew that I want to create something of my own. I want to have a better, in my future, I want to have a better work-life balance. And I want to enter entrepreneurship. And my sister was getting married at that time. So in Indian culture, marriages mean a lot of clothes, a lot of jewelry. I was doing a lot of jewelry shopping. I was living in Mumbai back then in India, Mumbai in India. So while I was shopping for jewelry, I came through some spiritual groups I was part of in Mumbai, because spirituality was always a part of my life. I came across a jeweler who also decided to mentor me in the jewelry business. And she told me that, one of the best ways you can start is to receive a gemology certification. And, I was very interested in gemstones, jewelry. And that's what led me to receive the gemology certification. And then now, of course, as I moved to spirituality and healing, and I also learned how to work with gemstones and crystal healing, that knowledge now helps me now in choosing better quality crystals and gemstones.
Wow, that's amazing. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, what a wonderful skill to have. Yeah, to help those that you are helping on their own journey. So number 3, I suffer from headaches as well. What is something that you would recommend for someone who has chronic headaches?
So somebody has chronic headaches. I mean, I would really recommend them that they enroll in a heal plan with a good energy healer. And if there are some techniques that they want to do, that they want to learn, one of the techniques is called the divine light flushing technique. So the divine light has a cooling effect. It's the healing light from the soul. And you just have to close your eyes and visualize a healing light from the soul from entering from 1 foot above your head. And it's dropping onto your crown chakra like a liquid waterfall of light. And it's slowly pouring down all over your body and all the auras that surround your body. And then imagine and visualize that it's extending from the source of the feet 10 feet deep into the earth. And you do this flushing technique for 3 minutes. And you can imagine like a bright white color of this light as it's keep on pouring it downwards and flushing out. So this is one technique that's very powerful because it will just cool your head. The divine light has a cooling effect.
Good. Wonderful. Wonderful. I'll have to tell my husband about this. He suffers from migraines as well. So, well, that was our last question. And as we've been talking, is there anything that you may have forgotten or something that you feel you need to share with our listeners? You can take the time right now. The floor is yours.
I think I would really want to tell all the listeners that whatever stage of your life that you're at, please, focus on your personal development, on your healing, and using holistic tools that are non-medicine based to help yourself as much as you can. And when you invest, and I mean financial investment and investment with your time in this aspect of your life, you would be more overall fulfilled, and it will have more longer term benefits in your life. This is one thing I wish my younger self knew. I
Mm,
used to waste my money on things in my 20s that was not so important. So, anyways, better late than never. But really keep a budget aside every year to work on your healing, so that you can, that beauty and that confidence radiates from within. You're beautiful inside out then.
right, right. Working on that spiritual hygiene, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to join me on this Ready Set Reiki journey.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, Tracy.
All right, wonderful. All right, my wonderful listeners, if you would like your question featured on Ready Set Reiki, reach out at www.readysetreiki.com or check me out on social media. Also, check out Feather Sister, which offers yoga and Reiki trainings in 10 different systems of Reiki. I'm Tracy C. Wright, and this has been Ready Set Reiki.